後だガルガの野望打ち破れ生きてゆけぞゾーンファイター流星人間よ
You tell me that every time. I'm getting faster every time we practice, and you still say it's wrong.
Your speed doesn't matter, Zone. You're going about this with too much force, and you're not on the defensive. Let's have you face another hollow kaiju. Remember, don't restrain your own strength. That's enough for today, Zone. Think about what you're doing wrong and realize your own strength. You're more powerful than you think.
How did he get his hands on one of the other Ultraminium orbs? They all should have been sent away from that planet. No matter. As long as he doesn't learn to absorb its power, he can still be destroyed, and I can acquire the orb for myself.
Appeared by the Yalana Lakeside.
Investigation into these monsters' transformations. According to Kim, they're absorbing some sort of ancient element called Ultraminium.
Alright. We found an element as well.
Back in the Kyoji Mountains, if you recall, we found a piece of Ultraminium. That's not what's causing these monsters to transform, however. Their Ultraminium energy is coming from somewhere else.
We're working on a way to maximize
power of our Ultraminium for Project Tension.
Be careful out there.
This spot makes one of the strongest stuff in the universe.
I understand.
It's time to destroy you here and now. Feel the wrath of Ultimate Elocating.
Damn it. This is just gonna keep happening more and more often. Project Tenchi needs to be completed as soon as possible.
Sensei?
Zone, you're making the same mistakes as you always have. You're limiting yourself, restricting yourself. Haven't you realized yet what it truly means to be an Ultraman?
I have improved. I've overcome more obstacles here than ever before.
Prove to me that you've learned from your training, then.
Don't you see? There's nothing else I can do against this.
And that line of thought is exactly why you failed.
He's always doubted me, ever since the beginning. Always saying I would never become this great warrior that I was so destined to become. I'll show him. I'll show him how strong I really am. He's almost ready. I really destined to become an extra warrior?
Your destiny is much greater than you realize, and soon you will realize your true power.
All these Ultramen come down now to help Koichi. Where were they years ago when they were really needed?
From my standpoint is, my son, when he was 5 years old or so, wanted to do a movie for G-Fest. And he went out in the backyard, we had smoke bombs, we had his Bandai figures, and he was playing with them at the little pool that they had, and made his own little thing, and that was his film that he put into G-Fest. And the book Godzilla on My Mind that William Mitsui wrote, or his last name escapes me at the moment, but he talked about when he went to G-Fest and saw this and how it was little kids doing their movies, and he was describing my son's movie, and I think about that and how basic that was, but then I see something like this where you've taken those Bandai figures, the articulated superheroes, and say, okay, that was 10 plus years ago, look what we've got now, this stuff's pretty slick and it looks really good, so quite a jump in the technology. So if anyone has any questions for Jake, go ahead, we've got time.
I'd just like to say that I thought it was amazing how you did it with the whole stop motion and clipping it into the background, and I love the way you snuck in the Omega Flowey theme into the thing. And considering it was a big monster with tentacles, that was also just genius. And you reusing that Everard board of one of the monsters, still amazing.
I will say I have not played Undertale, but I've seen that specific fight, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, that music seems like it would be really fitting. That's like actually sort of how I design a lot of these fight scenes. I'll just sort of play the music first, and I'll just sit there like for half an hour and just be like, okay. In my mind, just like having that scene play out, so.
You know, sometimes I do the same thing when I make my films. Just go online, find a song, think about it, and then make the fights.
I'd like to see your films in the film festival maybe next year.
Well, I had plans.
Great. Anyone else? Any other questions?
How long does it take to do the stop motion and the special effects?
It's sort of a weird process. Stop motion, like filming at least, can take a couple days to a couple weeks depending on like if I know exactly what I want to do. A lot of times, even if I do plan out the fights, I'll sort of improvise halfway through, but a lot of the stop motion, it's not like super slow frame by frame stuff. A lot of it's sort of fast paced, that kind of stuff, but you know, sort of putting figures in poses like that with smushy stands can sometimes be a pain, and that can sort of prolong filming. Special effects are, I wouldn't say the easier part, but they're definitely more fun to do because that's just sort of the process of bringing it to life. And that can take close to a month to do all the shots because each shot is being done in each movie.
Do you put a full script in your mind before filming, or do you just go along and it comes to you as you're doing it?
Yeah, I do write a script. This entire series was written out close to a year ago. You know, I'll do revisions and stuff like that, but I have started doing scripts for this, and it's really helped me improve, I feel like, because especially with human scenes, if you're improvising all that, some stuff might not fit together and there might be plot holes, and so writing a script beforehand can really help settle some of those out.
The editing software you use?
So I use Adobe After Effects, that's for all the special effects stuff. And then each shot is rendered individually in that, and then I use Sony Vegas to compile all the footage together and do sound design for the music and all that. I also use Audacity for voice alterations and stuff like that. So those three things.
Question right here in the third row.
Is that Zone Fighter like custom made or?
It's by Evolution Toys, I believe is the name. So it's kind of done in the style of Ultrac figures, if you have any of those. I don't know what you would call it, the manufacturing on it is kind of wonky, I guess. A lot of joints are really loose, so. But I was actually planning on using the custom Zone Fighter figure before I got that, so.
Okay.
Any other questions for Jake?
Where's your panel?
Oh yeah, I do have a panel today actually at 12, and doing that we're just going to discuss a lot of filming techniques, like editing software, special effects, and all that. So we did that last year actually, and that was a good turn. So.
All right, so let's give Jake a big hand. Check out his panel in a half hour. We'll take a 10-minute break.